I just had a client ask me about the forecasting capability of Excel, so I'd like to take you through it as well. I've got a sheet here called data, and really I'm interested in these two columns here, column B and column C. In column B I have a timeline, which basically means I have a series of dates, and in column C I have some values. So I'm going to select this area here, B1 to C106. And I really want to show you first of all how you can forecast with a trend line on a chart. So if we go to Insert and we go to Charting, we can choose a line chart with markers, for example. If I then move that chart and just put it up towards the top here and stretch it, we can see we've got a line chart with markers. Now what I'd like to do is add a trend line, and this is possible using this green plus in the top right corner of a chart when you have the chart selected. It's called the chart elements. When I click the chart elements button and I rest on trend line, I can then click this black triangle and I can go into more options. Now I have a format trend line task pane appear on the right hand side. I can immediately see my trend line is automatically showing on my chart, and it's a linear trend line. I can change it to a logarithmic or polynomial or even a moving average trend line depending on what you're after. But I'm just going to go for a linear trend line. So this is showing me basically that the trend is it's a slow increase, a gradual increase. But what's going to happen in the future? So I'm going to forecast forward maybe 365 days. As soon as I press Tab, that causes the chart to wake up and shows me that I've got a gradual increase over the next year. So that's one way that you can actually forecast what's going on with your data. I'm now going to close this task pane and just move this chart up a little bit. Another thing that you can use if you want to forecast what's going on with your data is you can actually select the data and then go to Data in the ribbon. And there's a button in here called a forecast sheet. This will create a new sheet that will predict data trends. So I'm going to click this button. If I move this into view, the first thing you can see is here is your forecast. Now I can show it as a line chart or I can show it as a column chart. So you get to choose which one. I'm going to leave it on line. Now I'm going to go to Options. What we can do here is control the start date of the forecast, but it's naturally picked up that my data ends on the 28th of December, so it wants to start forecasting from the 28th of December onwards. And that's where the forecast is going to start. Now the forecast, I want it to end 1 year later. So I'm going to go through to December 2021 and choose the 31st of December 2021. And so my forecast is shown in orange, whereas my data, which is actual, is shown in blue. Here is my confidence levels. I'm actually going to take the confidence levels off, and that appears on my chart. So my timeline data is indicated here, B1 to B106. My values are in C1 to C106. If I have any missing values, it will interpolate those, or I can show them as zeros, which means it'll cause the line chart to jump back down to 0. It's also going to show duplicates using an average, or a median, or a sum. I'm going to go for a median. The other thing I want to do is account for seasonal variability. And so if I set this manually, I can say, give me 12 months of seasonal variability. And that's shown here in my forecast values. I can also include any forecast statistics, and basically when I click Create, it'll create a new forecast worksheet showing me my actual data in blue and my forecasted values in orange. Just before we go, if I increase the seasonal variability to maybe 52 weeks in the year, see how much more erratic it shows. So I'm going to take it back to 12. I'll click Create, and basically I have a new sheet here, which I can now call Forecast. And my forecast sheet shows the actual values in column B, heading down to row 106, and then from row 106, you can see that these are the forecasted values until the end of 2021. What it's done is it's actually used a forecast function. And the forecast function is basically looking, starting at A106 7, it's looking at the data in column B, it's looking at the timeline in column A, it's giving us a seasonal variability of 12 months, and so the forecast function's been used. And you can research that and find out more about that. And if I scroll back up to the top, I can see here is my actual forecast chart. Let me just move that and let me just stretch it out. And here are some of my statistical values. These last four are to do with error and your confidence. And these three here, again, I would research forecast sheet a little bit more without getting too statistical. So that's some of the ways that you can forecast in Excel.